It's a week after I put all this frost cloth up, which has handled it quite well in the last week. We did, the day after I filmed this, have a -6-degree day. Another freezing cold morning in Canberra today. This is the Tangelo, where I have one of my thermometers placed, the outdoor one that's uncovered. You can see, a bit cold overnight, just a little. So we'll see how things go today, I guess. Which is -6.3 it was, and that was obviously very, very cold, so I'm not going to do a full update today. I'm just going to kind of peek back under here to see how everything's going, see if the soil is dry. It's been a week, so it's still quite damp down there. I don't think this needs to be watered. That looks good. The little white sapote that I potted up. So just having a peek with you guys to see how we're going. Oof, that babico at the back there, how shocking is that? Everything else though seems at first glance to be kicking along fine. There's not looking too great. The guava's got a lot more red in the leaves, I noticed, but we've got new shoots coming off that actually at the moment, which I don't think was there last week. So that's promising. Come around this side and just have a look in that wine barrel planter that's still reading 7% water, which is very, very dry. It's concerning to me. I don't want this, especially after I knocked all these leaves off last week, I don't want this to die. Well, to me actually seems quite wet. We just saw some nice white roots in there, so I'm not too worried about that. Look, it's dry, and I'm going to give it some water, but it's not bone dry. Might actually move one of these sensors into another pot as well, just so we can get some readings that are a bit different. I've already still got one in this pot. Now these have been on for over a week now, and they're all still kicking on, which is good. That Rullinia has actually got some discolouring on its leaves since the -6-degree day. So this was much greener last week, so obviously it's got a little bit of frost damage. Still has those new shoots though, so I'm not worried about that. This cherimoya, what a champion, huh? What a champion plant. Look at this, still green, perfect. These achachas barely changed. This Hass avocado basically under full cold air. Look at this green growth coming on. Can't see any frost damage. We've got a little bit of discoloration along the stem, but I don't know if that's from the frost. Potentially it is. It could just be the bark getting a bit older. But I'm very impressed with this Hass avocado handling these this -6 degrees with very little protection. And these achachas are so surprising that, like, it's not putting on any new growth. It's not vaulting into the sky with new growth, but it's just kicking along. Doesn't seem to be having an issue whatsoever. And if it can do this at -6.3, which is about as cold as we're going to possibly get. We don't usually get much colder than that. -7, possibly -8 on a really, really cold morning. But -6.3 is really about as cold as we get. We do have a major cold front coming through over the next few days, which is the other reason I'm in here now, just kind of getting a bit of a stock to see where we're at. Chance of snow, which is really, really rare in Canberra. That snow could come through Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday this week. It's Sunday now. If Look at these white sapotes. That is impressive. And speaking about impressive white sapotes, over here, I don't know if you recall in the very first video that I put together, or one of the very first videos, I said I had a white sapote that got decapitated accidentally by one of these twisty tires, and it was around the stem of the plant. Where is the plant? Around the stem of the plant, just here. And it caused the entire stem to get cut through, and a gust of wind came along and knocked it over. This is shooting off again, this white sapote, and I really didn't have a lot of hope for it, so I haven't bothered to cover it up. This is under this is just on the other side of that roof line, and you can see that we have new shoots coming off, and this has faced negative 6.3 after having its head chopped off. Just getting by. I've done absolutely nothing with this, haven't even watered it. Got these other plants in the pots here which might be giving a little bit of protection, which is why I didn't actually pull them out. I thought, look, well, if it gets through, it gets through. But that is impressive. I'm very impressed that that's negative 6.3 that this plant here has got through, and it's alive at all. I thought for sure that would have been killed to the ground. So white sapote, very possibly far more cold tolerant than anyone thinks. Online they're rated down to around -4, -5 at the most, with -2 typically being the threshold for what they are said to be able to take. And it is true that, for instance, this one here is not looking as great as the other ones, but these other ones over here, they're just so healthy. They're just putting on new growth in the middle of winter. So I guess it's a really quick update for everybody. I'll leave it at that, and I'll catch you in the next video.